PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Today we're talking about the best of the best from the year 1990. We finally made it, right? I started in 1984. We're finally made it to 1990. You're going to get these videos every single Friday. This is where it really starts cooking. This is interesting. I think all 5 of these cards are very interesting. We've been stuck with, not stuck with, but we've gone through a lot of star cards in the mid-80s, right? In the 84, 85, 86 year. Then we've gone through some of the Fleer All-Star, Fleer Sticker, Fleer Base cards in the late 80s. And now we're finally starting to see some variety. Michael Jordan finally started to kind of become the face of the NBA. He was the selfish superstar who couldn't play well with others and couldn't win the big one. And then, people figured out he probably could, and then he went on to win 6 more. So 90 is kind of where the greatest era of, in my opinion, the greatest era of Michael Jordan basketball card collecting begins. Not quite to the inserts and parallels that we'll see in 1992 and forward, but we're getting some weird stuff and some peculiar stuff and some low pop stuff. So it's not junk wax stuff that we're going to be looking at. As always, the purpose of this episode is not to identify the most valuable Michael Jordan cards. It's not even to identify the most popular Michael Jordan cards. These are strictly my best 3 in order, and then 2 honorable mention Michael Jordan cards from the year 1990. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get cranking. Card number 1 is a pretty cool card. It is, let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, here we go. I've got it on screen share. You're looking at this card and you're like, that's 89. That's 89 Hoops. No. This is 1990 Hoops Superstars. It's a Sears release. I think it was in the back of Sears catalogs. That's what the card looks like. I did not urinate on the card. That is the actual color of the border of the card. This is the back. It's card number 12. For those of you curious, and it's sort of a remake of the 1989 Hoops, but it was through Sears, and they only did cards 1 through 100, and it was alphabetical. I've got the Beckett blurb pulled up. I'll just read it to you because Beckett does it better than I ever could. This 100 card set, standard size set, is a partial remake of the 1989 Hoop set. The pictures used are the same. The set was primarily sold through the Sears catalog. The backs have a headshot in the same format as the front, as well as biographical and statistical information only up through the 88-89 season on a pale / urine yellow background. However, they differ from the Hoops issue in the yellow coloring on the card fronts and a new card numbering system. The cards are numbered on the back and arranged alphabetically according to team. So Atlanta Hawks, Boston Celtics, Charlotte Hornets, etc., etc. That's what the card looks like in PSA 10. The PSA Pop Report, these are much more rare than the 1989 Hoops, despite the fact that they have a resemblance to those cards from a year prior. 1381, 1389, 1399 have been graded by PSA. There are only 137 PSA 10s out there. Keep that in mind. I've got 2 of them, so there's only 135 left. But that is the honorable mention card. That is my first honorable mention card on my list today. The second, let's talk about the price. The PSA 10 has dipped all the way down to $290. If you look at the last 5 sales, I've got it sorted in date order. These are all PSA 10s. $455, $326, $384, all the way down to $291. So a little bit surprising, to be honest with you. $384, $535. I don't know what the highest the card's ever hit. Let's find out. $660 in 2021 is the highest it's ever hit. It recently in March hit $535. It's top 500 a couple of times. Most of it back in 2021 when all hell was breaking loose in the hobby. But that's the first card in our honorable mention. The next card in our honorable mention, in no particular order, again, is the 1990 starting lineup Jordan Yellow. And I've actually got this card as well that I can show you guys. Here it is. I just have a PSA 8 copy. Tough card to find. Tough card to gem. That's what it looks like. That is about as young a picture as you will find of Michael Jordan. The jerseys were horrific. The number is actually behind the Bulls logo right there. It looks like it's almost like a Photoshop where he's wearing some kind of practice uniform or something. But their number was printed real small that year down there. This is a rookie year throwback. This is as 80 as 80s gets. Like, this looks like an early 1980s baseball card in my opinion. The back is very bland. Not much to it. Just a bunch of talk. And then some of Jordan's Vitals up there at the top. But that 1990 Kenner starting lineup, yellow, is my next honorable mention. And then we're going to go right back to back with my number 3 card on my list. And these are going in order, 3, 2, 1. You're going to like these 3. Number 3 on my list, we're going right back to the starting lineup product. And it's the 1990 Kenner starting lineup brown. The reason we're calling them yellow and brown is the damn cards don't have a number. And so you can't say starting lineup number 47 or number 23 or whatever because they don't have a number. It's yellow and it's brown. The brown's badass. The brown is really good looking. I've got the brown as well. I'll show you my copy of the brown. There it is. I actually have a PSA 10 in the brown, which makes it it's a pretty rare card in PSA 10. I don't have the pop report pulled up. I like the photograph. I like the brown because there's just not that many true brown Jordan cards out there. You've got some gold foil. You've got some kind of amber colored like the EX2000, but you don't have any true flat poo-poo brown Jordan cards out there, right? This is chocolate milk brown, and it also reeks of the 80s. It's just got the equidistant picture frame border, just like a 1980s baseball card. But this is the starting lineup brown, PSA 10. Of course, I got it in PSA 8 as well. And there's an actual facsimile, a real facsimile autograph of Jordan on the back. The brown does have his stats, which are absolutely eye-popping, as you can see and gather from the picture. So that's card number 3 on my list. Moving on to card number 2 on my list. And this one gets a little wild. A lot of you may not even know this card exists. So let me show you what we got here. It's the 1990 Action Packed Promos Silver Variation. Card number 3. This is a BGS 9.5 copy you're looking at on your screen. Most of you, and myself included, for the longest time, I had no idea what the hell I was looking at, but this is his Action Packed Promos. It was a promotional prototype card that was given out. 5 players in the set. There's a Patrick Ewing, there's a white variation of Patrick Ewing, there's Irvin Magic Johnson, and then there's Michael Jordan, and then there's Michael Jordan silver foil. The Michael Jordan gold foil is relatively attainable. It's still not a high pop card, but you can find it. The Michael Jordan silver variation is very, very difficult to find. I've got it pulled up here on Trading Card Database. That's what the back looks like. He's got a nice fedora on. Obviously, he was playing some golf there. It's a sample. It's got the great Bill Cartwright in the background. I should know who this dude is for the Sonics, but I cannot off the top of my head recall who that is. Somebody help me out. The PSA Pop Report. Check this out. So here's the regular Michael Jordan. 116 ever graded by PSA, 12 PSA 10s. Check out how many PSA graded silver variations there are. 1. And it graded a PSA 5. There are no 6s, there are no 7s, there are no 8s, there are no 9s, there are no 10s. If we pull it up in Beckett, you can see that it has been graded. Obviously, I showed you a sale here. There is a 9.5. It sold last in 2022 for $7,600 in BGS 9.5, and let me show you why. Beckett's graded 4. So you're talking about 5 times this silver Action Pack promo has ever been graded by PSA or Beckett. Beckett gave 2 9.5s, a 9 and an 8. So this is best in class you're looking at. Again, 4 in the Pop Report, none graded higher than this 9.5. It sold for $7,600 in 2022. What do you think this card right here would sell for today? A lot of people think cards go down. Cards have gone down. Card Ladder thinks the card would sell for $6,000. I don't know. It's interesting. When you get to these Pop 2s and stuff like this and people are competing on that set registry, some crazy stuff can happen, y'all. So I would keep my eyes on that. But that is an interesting card indeed. That's the card that I have pulled up. Just a very, 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 very rare card. But I have it pulled up because I think it looks good. I think it's got a good story. It's kind of a metal foil looking silver deal, so it's very durable. It should actually grade well, but despite what we saw from PSA, the PSA 5 being the only one. So I wish I knew more about the card to share with you guys, but I just don't. And then card number 1. Card number 1 is a card that's near and dear to my heart. So it's not the Skybox, but it's the 1990 Skybox prototype. And I've got a nice big picture here. Of course, I don't own that Action Pack promo. I do own the other 4 cards. The Action Pack promo I don't have in the regular version or the silver version. This is the 1990 Skybox prototype Jordan. Very condition sensitive card. Very difficult to grade. Very clear if the centering is off. This is an excellent PSA 8 copy. The back centering is what does it in, but the front centering is actually really good. And then the corners, you're going to see a little bit of whitening, right? It's just really tough to maintain these cards if you've held these cards in hand. But this is the prototype. The way you can tell, prototype is printed big and bold and red in the top left corner of the card. Even the PSA 8 prototype here, as you can see, here's a PSA 10 sales throughout history. It's sold for $5,000, $1,600, $1,500. So 3 times the card sold over 4 figures. The PSA 8 is attainable. It's a 225, 225, 217, 200, 195, 186, 180, 175. So it's one of those cards that's relatively attainable. It looks like it's about a $200 card. Someone really stole the PSA 8 here, which was completely missed somehow by the general public and sold for $30. A huge win there, $170 profit margin. But you're probably looking at about a $200 card right there for that card. What's the last PSA 10 that sold? The last one that sold was the highest that's ever sold, and it was $5,656. The Card Ladder folks think it's probably worth about $3,500 a day. Let me know what you think. If we look at the pop report, it's card number 41 in this Skybox prototype, and I've got it pulled up. 1990 Skybox prototype. They made, here, let me read it to you. This is from Beckett, the 10 card set of prototypes. So they made 10 Skybox prototypes. It was issued singly and it was issued in a complete sheet. So there might be sheet cut variations out there. There might be complete sheets still out there. The cards were mailed out to prospective dealers and members of the media to show the unique design of the inaugural Skybox issue. Just to give them an idea of, wait till you see how different Skybox is from Hoops, from Fleer. These were definitely innovative and outside the box cards. Again, look at the card and just try to put yourself back in the year 1990. That is so very different than anything we had seen before that. Like I showed you with the starting lineups and the other cards from the prior 80s years, the basketball cards kind of look like the baseball cards. They were ho-hum. Again, they all have meaning and they're all special, but this was a huge step in a completely different direction. The cards are distinguishable by the presence of a red diagonal prototype line cutting across the upper left corner of the card, and they are numbered on the back. If we go back to that PSA list, here's the other guys that were in those prototypes. It was Jordan, Rodman, Magic, Cyclee, Pierce, Pooh Richardson for some reason, Kevin Johnson, Drexler, David Robinson, Karl Malone. I might be crazy, but that seems like more than 10 that I've just named. Jordan is the most common graded. The Jordan's been graded 314 times. There is a whopping 8 PSA 10s. That is not a lot. Even the 8s are pop 90 with only 91 higher. So you're talking about a significantly more rare card than the original Skybox release, which is not uncommon at all. But that's it. That's my personal card number 1 is the Skybox prototype. Right behind that is the Action Pack Silver promo, which is just Sasquatch City, super, super rare. The starting lineup brown comes in third for me. The starting lineup yellow card is honorable mention, and that's a beautiful, bright, vibrant yellow picture right there. Jeez 'em. And then the Hoops yellow Superstars, right, which was released in the Sears. It looks a lot like the 89 Hoops, but it's a little bit different. So like I said, all 5 cards are a little bit different. We're getting a little bit out of our comfort zone into some weird stuff, and it's making for great conversation. But that's it, guys. That's it for my 1990 best of the best. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I missed. Is there a card from 1990? I didn't have any Fleer in here. Is there a card from 1990 that you think belongs in here? Maybe you think the Fleer sticker belongs in here, the Fleer All-Star belongs in here, the Fleer base belongs in here. I don't know, but these are my 5 cards. Let me know what your 5 cards are. I appreciate you guys watching these episodes on Fridays. Remember, these are replacing the Explore the Card episodes. You're probably watching this during Friday at the National, so it may not get a lot of views. People are probably walking the floor, getting deals done, shaking hands and kissing babies and talking on panels. But thank you guys for watching these videos. We'll get back to the Explore the Card episodes probably sometime in the fall, I promise you, and we'll keep that cranking. Again, the MJ Hierarchy project is sort of taking top priority right now, and everything else is coming right behind it. I'm not getting to quite a video every single day, but we're getting to about 5-6 videos every week nonetheless, which is still pretty consistent, just not quite up to my standards. Thank you guys for watching this best of the best video from 1990. Next week, 1991. Stay tuned. I'm at the National, but I'm going to get that video out for you guys. Don't worry about that. I promise. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Peace.